Yo friends, I just want to show you all my compost bin today, which is, without a doubt, the easiest and simplest way to compost. It is really basic. I got these 4 pallets for free, and I lashed them together with a bit of wire I had. I didn't lash together all 4 corners because I wanted to leave some room in the future when I want to open this puppy up. For right now, the method I have for composting couldn't possibly be any easier. All that composting is, in its simplest form, is allowing organic matter to break down. If you're out in the woods here, there's tons of organic matter in the form of leaves and twigs. This is all slowly composting. Now, as far as I understand it, and please feel free to correct me in the comments, most people, when they try to compost, are composting for a specific deadline. They want to turn that organic matter into usable garden compost as quickly as possible, sometimes as little as 2 or 3 months. But for me, there's no real need for a deadline. So all of this organic matter in here will slowly start to break down. And who cares how long it takes? A few caveats here and talking about how I will probably improve and expand this system. The one main thing is if you continue to add to a system like this on a regular basis, it will never fully compost. The stuff at the bottom of this system probably might be very close to being like a finished usable garden compost, but then I just dumped fresh stuff on top of it. So what I plan to do is continuing to just dump stuff in here and wait until it fills up. Then I'll probably take a shovel and give it a few turns every once in just the rarest of blue moons, and I'll build a second compost bin next to it. The second bin is for the fresh stuff. The first bin is the old stuff that's slowly composting. A few extra bonus points about this system here. As this stuff starts to break down, especially as rain comes on it, there's a lot of really nutrient-dense liquid that's produced that will eventually run out of the system. So I encourage you to take advantage of that nutrient-dense runoff. One of the easiest and simplest ways of doing that is simply putting this type of compost bin system in the midst of where you're growing plants. I need to do this more fully, but for example, here's an elderberry. As this elderberry grows, it's going to be sucking some of the nutrient-rich water and liquid gunk that comes out of the compost, and it'll be using it as a fertilizer. I'm running out of space because there's a brush pile behind it, but ideally this whole compost area would be surrounded by plants that would benefit from that liquid runoff. A lot of people, when they're talking about compost, include this long list of things that should and shouldn't go in a compost bin. I find that all rubbish. Again, most of those people are trying to take organic matter and turn it into garden compost as quickly as possible. That's not my goal, so I don't care if the process takes a lot longer. Meat, bones, eggshells, yeah, those things will take longer to break down than your garden scraps. But who cares? I have all the time in the world. I'm in no rush to finish this compost quickly. So if you just want the easiest system possible for the best bang for your buck, it's free, and just something to get rid of your veggie scraps and your kitchen scraps so you're not throwing everything in the trash, I highly suggest this system. It's going to take it a long time to turn into garden compost, and it won't ever if you keep adding fresh stuff, so yeah, you'll need to eventually add a 2 or 3 bay system. But for no work, and when you can put it in the middle of where you're growing plants and still benefit from it all, I think it's a great system. What are your thoughts? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Would you do something slightly different or very different? I'd love to hear.